Hello, and welcome to an episode of The Path to Transformation. I'm your host, Tammy, and today we are going to do a little solo, and this is going to be a grief talk episode. So, whether you are a new listener or a returning listener, welcome. I love to talk about things, relating to wellness. I love to have different people on that have had a journey maybe to a like wellness and do work that can help improve our health and happiness. So, if you are new or a returning listener, thank you, thank you. Super excited to have you today. I am a life transitions coach. I am a podcast host. I'm a sound healer, and I also run a grief support group for 20 and 30 somethings. So I wear a few hats, all of which I love so, so much. And yeah, before we hop in, I wanted to let you know that my grief group is going to be meeting. I'm looking at the dates for sure, but I'm gonna say the first Sunday evening of June, because I looked and the last Sunday of this month is actually going to be Memorial Day weekend, and I know people are having fun and doing things. So yeah, I think we'll go to the first Sunday of the month, and we'll see how that goes. So we have that, and then I have my coaching, my one-to-one coaching. So I have three different um like levels, I guess we can call them packages. I guess that's the proper word. I have three different packages. So I have a 6 month, 3 month, and I'm going to be introducing a smaller package. So if you are looking to work with somebody, you need some guidance, you're feeling a little lost in, your career path, then I would love to support you. You can go to my Instagram bio and fill out a free discovery session, and we can kind of chat, get to know each other there. You can tell me what's going on, and I can do my best to serve you in, that time that we meet. So my Instagram's at TammyU_wellness if we aren't already connected. And also, last thing, I want to tell you about this new brand that I'm loving, which is Udow. And they are cookies, and they are protein cookies that also have adaptogens in them, because the founder at 16 found out that she had Crohn's disease, which eventually she got the diagnosis when she was 21 that she had developed colon cancer. So she kind of learned about how food can be medicine, and there, can be healing. So she's all about, not having artificial things in the product. So these cookies are, like I mentioned, they have protein, which is great. So like guilt free, and also the ingredients are, organic and non-artificial. So my favorite cookie is the chocolate double chocolate, the chocolate one, and also the birthday cake one. I really like. Now, if you like more of like a sweet salty, then I definitely recommend the sea salt chocolate chip. I think you would like that one. So I have a code, and it is TammyU10 if you would like to order them online, and that'll save you 10% off your order. All right, let's get into this sode. So I want to talk about the holidays because this Sunday, is going to be Mother's Day. So I wanted to kind of talk about that, because obviously I've been walking around the malls. Um, Not really, I don't go to the mall that much, but I had to go to the glasses place. So I did have to go to the mall. And I'm seeing all the Mother's Day gift stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not really feeling any type of way in particular. I'm not feeling like too sad or anything. And I think it's more so for me like complete vulnerability and transparency, because we are friends, and on here I keep it real, real, real. But I'm also, giving you a warm hug as I keep it real. So I think for me it's more so of the family aspect that bothers me, or like the lack of family, because I feel like once people pass away, especially like grandparents and stuff, maybe it's just my family, so I don't know, but it definitely like changed the dynamics. And also I feel like COVID too, like people got sick and then they got weird about like gathering again. So yeah, I feel like it's more so of the, I feel sad and like FOMO, I guess, about missing out of like that, like, oh, we're gonna gather all the families together, extended and everything, and we're gonna have a Mother's Day brunch and like whatever. Like that's the stuff that I feel like I miss out on and that I want and I desire to have in the future, which I know I will. But yeah, so that's more so of what bothers me because again, right now I feel pretty at peace with the loss of my mom. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a inside scoop about what you might expect if this is your first holiday without, your loved one when these holidays come up, or if it is, several. It's been several years. So, first and foremost, it is going to be tough. It can be tough. Whether, like I said, if it's your first or your 10th Mother's Day without them, or Father's Day, or Thanksgiving, whatever. It's going to be tough. You are going to miss them, you know, and you might get triggered. You might feel sad. And I think that's totally natural and normal. And I think it's important to allow ourselves to feel those feelings, lean into them. And if we need to like excuse ourselves, maybe have like a plan and excuse ourselves if we need to. Like, I am gonna go take like a little bit of time. I'm feeling like sad. But also, like, your loved ones can and should, I feel like, be able to hold space for you if you want to be vulnerable in front of them, you know? But I know for me, like, I'd probably be like, because I'm working on my vulnerability. But I would probably be like, hey, I'm gonna like take 10 minutes. I'm gonna go for a walk or something, and like I'll be back so I can deal with my things on my own. Also, maybe that's just like all my Scorpio sign placements that make me super emotional or whatever. But um, so yeah, I would. So just expect that you might feel sad and maybe have a plan if that is something that feels like you might need it. I think another thing is that it can also feel lonely, especially if your loved ones or friends or whoever you're grieving, like if they feel differently or they grieve differently. You might feel lonely because they might be like acting like nothing happened and you're like, hold up, like mom's gone, she's not here, why are you smiling? Like this fucking sucks. And I think that's totally normal too. It's like we might feel lonely and it might be sucky that we are the only ones that feel sad, but in reality and honestly, we aren't the only ones that are feeling sad because, you know, there's other people in this world that are feeling the same way and it's just a matter of like putting it out there and I feel like finding those people that might feel similar. And I think another important thing to keep in mind is that it might differ year to year. So you might feel this might be the first Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever, without your loved one. And you might be like, oh, this isn't that bad. I got this. Okay. But then it might take another year. And then you actually realize, oh, shoot, I wasn't grieving that whole time. And then you start grieving. And then it's the first Mother's Day without them. And you're like, oh, like this is why this is what I should be feeling. Like, this is what it actually feels like. Okay, I'm sad. Because I think that was, like, kind of the case for me. It's like, oh, wow, like, I actually wasn't grieving. Now I am. This sucks. So it's gonna likely differ year to year. And I think that's important to remember. So now for a little bit of tips, I guess, or advice. Follow it, don't follow it. Take it with a grain of salt, do as you please. You are an adult and I believe in you. So, some things that I think maybe that you could try to do to help cope with this loss or cope with this holiday, like I already mentioned, was excuse yourself if you need to, have like a little game plan, let people know ahead of time how you might be feeling so that they're not like forcing you to do something you don't want to do, etc. You could always, of course, take out pictures and old home videos and like reminisce and like look at the pictures. You can, of course, talk to people, lean on them, lean on others, and like be honest about where you really are. And it's gonna be so scary and it's gonna like feel icky sometimes, maybe for you, but nobody knows unless like we share it with them. Like, we can't assume that people know how we're really feeling. And if we're just being like, yeah, I'm good, like, then that's what we gave them and that's what they think, right? But it's so important to like peel back the layers and be like, okay, so like I feel pretty good. However, this is the one thing that's bothering me. I feel like I am missing out on having a family like around and stuff, and I feel disconnected from family, right? That was different than like just I'm good. You got more from that from me than something else. So lean on others because they don't know how you are really feeling, and if we just leave it at we're good, most people 9 times out of 10 do not ask further questions. We leave it at that. I think it's important to also, if you're interested, carry on traditions. So maybe there's something that your mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, friend loved, right? And you can carry on these traditions by doing it as a way to like honor them. So like maybe they always loved this, I don't know, maybe it was like breakfast in bed if it was like your mom. So like maybe you're kind of like gonna have breakfast in bed yourself. Or maybe it is watching this particular movie. Maybe you'll watch that movie, right? And then, of course, you can start new traditions, new things that maybe someday you want to carry on to if you have a future family or for future friends. So, that I think is like beautiful too. It's like the possibility. So, kind of like being with the maybe like, oh, like what it was, but then also like, oh, there's new change, there's new opportunities, etc. I think that's really a beautiful option. So I hope this episode was informative, or maybe you felt a little bit supported. You aren't in this grief alone. Just, keep in mind that if you feel like you want a community that is, intimate and everybody, it's a safe environment and you can trust everybody, then definitely shoot me a DM and let me know if you're interested in checking out Grief Group, my grief group. I really am glad that, we have a nice little group and everybody is super supportive of one another. And I love that. And everybody hears you out and it gives us space to like express what's really on our mind instead of feeling like I'm annoying my friends with this and they don't get it. Like, at least with everybody here, like they get what I'm saying? So, yeah, thank you so much for listening. Please, if you didn't already, hit subscribe. Please do that. And what would be super, super duper if you could leave a review, an honest written review, or if you could just tap the stars and give it 5 stars or whatever you feel. That would be super, super helpful because that is how more people see the show and we can help educate more people and you can help me educate and support more people. So I'm so grateful. Come say hi to me on Instagram if you haven't already. And I am grateful for you. And thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I hope you have an awesome day. And just remember, you aren't in this grief alone, though it may feel that way. But you got me. We got each other. Okay? All right. Well, I hope you have an awesome one. Thanks so much for listening. Talk to you next time.